This is the Gdog Sports Podcast. I'm Gdog, your host. We got no special guest. A little different scenery in my room. I'm gonna be doing them downstairs with special guests because it's a little better fitting, more comfortable a little bit. Might do some in my room, but if it's by myself, I'm gonna do them in my room because I kind of want to. Don't have any set topics. Just going to kind of talk about college football, college basketball, little NFL. Might hit up in the NBA Cup a little bit, but um, starting off college football, we're gonna talk about the college football playoffs, 12-team playoffs. They're already talking about having a 16-team playoffs. I'm pretty sure for next year. Kind of crazy. I think we should see how this goes for 3 to 5 years at least. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna kind of talk about that, then talk about some of the games. I don't have a problem with the playoffs by no means. I know a lot of people are with Alabama, Ole Miss, South Carolina, and Miami not making it. I think Miami should be in it, um, because if they wouldn't, up until they lost to Georgia Tech, they were expected to be a 2 or 3 seed. I'm pretty sure. I think because I think one was Oregon, two was Texas. I think. Um, but up until that, they was projected to be 2 or 3 seed, 4 seed maybe. Um, and then they lose one game, they get knocked out. They lose another game, then they're totally out. I think it's kind of crazy in my stand. I don't think Alabama should have made it. Got killed by Oklahoma. Should never lost to Vandy. They had bad losses. Tennessee's not a bad loss. Um, and then Ole Miss just lost to Florida. Go Gators. Lost to Kentucky and lost some other games. Pretty sure lost Ole Miss. Oh, lost to LSU. I'm pretty sure. And then South Carolina just showed up a little late. They just, since they weren't expected to be high, it kind of affected them. But if they would have beat Bama early season, which was a close game, I think they would be in here probably. Um, but going now, we got Oregon 1 seed. Don't have a problem with that by no means. Um, very deserving. Beat Ohio State. Beat Illinois. Beat Penn State in a shootout in the Big Ten championship. Um, very well deserving. You got the 2 seed. We got Georgia. Beats Texas twice. Even though they lost to Ole Miss and lost to Bama, besides those games, they really played bad. The only game they really played bad, in my opinion, was Ole Miss. I don't think they played bad in any other game. Um, what best team that's not in the same conference as Oregon? Okay, 3 seed Boise State. The only reason they're not below Arizona State is because they fought against Oregon, and then they beat a ranked UNLV twice. I think by more than double digits. If I said Oregon State for one, I meant Oregon. Okay. Um, but deserving, I guess, for Boise State. Be shocking. Not shocking, but we'll see how far they actually do. If beating Mountain West has an effect to how their playoff run. For Arizona State, again, the best team out of the last two conference winners between Arizona State and Clemson. I actually think Clemson's better in my opinion, but Arizona State just has a better record. Um, then you got 5th seed Texas, next best deserving. Only lost 2 games to the same team. Okay. 6th seed Penn State. I think they should be a little lower because they haven't beat anybody except like Illinois. So yeah, not deserving in my opinion, but deserve to be in the playoffs. 7th seed Notre Dame. One of the better Notre Dame teams I've ever seen. Well, Austin, North Illinois affects them a lot. I really think if they didn't lose to Northern Illinois, they'd be the 5th seed right now. But they got lucky. They're playing Indiana, which I'll talk about them a little bit more. But one of the better Notre Dame teams than the last time. I think it was 2019, 2020. They made the playoffs last and got absolutely killed by Bama. But deserving. Eighth seed, we got Ohio State, deserving. The loss to Oregon twice, or no, what am I talking about? Loss to Oregon affects not being a higher seed, but then what affects them a lot is the Michigan loss. I'm very surprised they didn't flip with them with Tennessee, but Tennessee, the loss to Arkansas is, I guess, just as bad as Michigan. And Tennessee lost a few other games. Flip a five. Vandy was kind of close at the beginning, but fizzled out. Kentucky game was a little closer. Got lost to Florida. But lost to beat Bama, so bumps it up. No problem with that. 10 seed Indiana. I don't think Indiana's good. Sorry, Gunner Bustus. Indiana's not any good. Who have they beat? Oh, they beat Michigan. Good for you. Okay, moving on. 11 seed SMU. Again, kind of the situation with Miami. They were projected to be a top seed and they lose one game. Shouldn't take them out of the playoffs. 12 seed Clemson has to be in there. Yeah, I think they should be above SMU just because they beat them. But did not like it. So don't have any problems. The best, I think Tennessee's in a terrible situation for as good as a team they are. They go against Ohio State. Good team. Good team. At Ohio State. Hopefully the mic's good. I don't really know where to put it at. Um, but then they gotta go play Oregon, and then gotta go probably play Texas because Texas is probably gonna beat Clemson and beat Arizona State in my opinion. So Tennessee's got a rough road for ahead of them. I think they can do it. I think they're a good enough team. Um, but we'll see. But I'm gonna go a little deeper in situations. I'm gonna talk a little bit more. I think Texas best scenario. They got Clemson at Texas, and they play Arizona State. Then they got probably play Oregon, Tennessee, Ohio State, which is gonna suck for them. Penn State. This is a good Penn State team. Haven't proven anything yet to me, but it's a good Penn State team. But they got a good road. They got SMU, Boise State, and then they got probably face Georgia. They don't play. If Georgia gets beat, then they're pretty lucky. Notre Dame, Indiana's neither who wins is lucky. They gotta go play Georgia. Arizona State got kind of lucky being a four. I'd rather be a 2 seed, but they're not gonna. They didn't have a chance to be the 2 seed. I'd probably rather be the 3 seed. If I was a team right now, the spot I'd want to be in is probably the 2 seed because you're going to go play Indiana or Notre Dame, both winnable games. You're going to be home, obviously, and you're playing the Sugar Bowl, which is one of the more top bowls. Besides probably my favorite bowl, the Rose Bowl, which is the one team gets to play. That's pretty good. And then you're going to play the winner. You're going to play either Boise State, SMU, Penn State, and then Ohio State, Tennessee. One of them is out. Okay, obviously, I mean that's kind of obvious. Then Oregon's going to beat the other one out more than likely. So you're only going to have to play one of those 3 teams. You don't have a chance. So it slims odds because I'd rather play Clemson, Texas, Arizona State than Tennessee, Ohio State, Oregon. Um, so you're probably going to play Texas or Oregon, maybe even Ohio State up here, which I would rather, which is good after having competition building up to that. Just kind of spit everywhere, but building up, it'll be good. So I think 2 seed is the best spot here. I'm going to break this down a little bit. Clemson, Texas. Let's click on this a little bit. I'm not going straight for that. I know I'm looking at my phone a lot, but I'm literally just looking. I don't have. I'm just look. I'm not going straight. I'm not reading off anything. I'm just. I'm just strictly looking at the games because I don't want to mess up something. Clemson, Texas. I have Texas winning by 11. Texas 84.5% chance. Clemson, Texas wins. Is at Texas. Hard to play at Texas. They got good environment, good strong supportive fans there. Clemson can do it. Dabo Swinney's used to being down underdogs like this. Do I think he'll win it? No. A lot of people do. I actually seen some ESPN reports a few nights ago that a lot of people think Clemson can pull this out and can possibly win it all because he's the only him and like one time I can't name Kirk not Kirk Herbstreit. The one time I can't name Georgia's coach, Kirby Smart. I think they're the only two that's been to the national championship or even been in the playoffs before for that. Oh no, Texas coaches. But championship wise, only them two. I'm pretty sure ever won it is them two. So, so that's why people think they will. Texas wins close. The only reason it's close is because I'm not a big fan of the Clemson. I like Clemson's team this year, but I'm a really big fan of Texas's team. But I think Texas is not used to teams, good, strong talent, and it shows versus the Georgia teams. But now, after Georgia lost twice, it's going to put some fire under them, and then they're going to go play Clemson at Texas. I think they'll barely win, but then after that, they'll be good, and we won't have to be saying, well, they lost it. They haven't beat anyone good after this. I know it's one team, but still. So I got Texas moving on, go play Arizona State. Tennessee, Ohio State. Spread, Ohio State by 7. Ohio State 67.7% chance. I agree with these odds a lot. Ryan Day has shown us that he cannot win in big matchups against good supportive fans like Michigan and Oregon. I get okay. Supportive fans, yes, he can beat teams like Penn State at Penn State. It was a day game, which shouldn't really matter for fans, but he can't. Ryan Day struggles in tough situations. Tennessee, I don't think does. Tennessee, though, this is. I think Tennessee's got a good team, but not a better team than Ohio State's going to affect them in this game. And it's at Ohio State. If it was at Tennessee, I'd have Tennessee in a heartbeat. Big SEC guy here. I kind of hype myself up. I'm a big SEC fan, so I'm gonna have Tennessee. If it's at Tennessee, I would have them any day. But both 10-2. I say the odds are really 55% chance to Ohio State just because of Ryan Day's situation against Michigan. If he didn't lose to Michigan, I would say Ohio State wins by 2 touchdowns. I just like their team better this year. Um, Defense is going to win this game. Defense and quarterback production. And you're like, that's obvious. No crap. That's what's going to happen. Both of these quarterbacks are not top 5 quarterbacks. I won't even have Will Howard or I'm not going to try to say Tennessee's quarterback's name, but Nico, I think is his first name, though. Um, I don't think any of these quarterbacks are, let's say top 10. I don't think any of these quarterbacks are really top 15, in my opinion. I just don't. Um, but defenses are. Tennessee has one of the better defenses in the SEC, and Ohio State has one of the better defenses in the nation. So I think what quarterback can eat up the defense and what defense can affect the quarterback's mind is going to win the game. And I think Nico is not ready for this environment and is going to perform not as good as he should. And Ohio State's really going to step up. But Will Howard's going to be decent. He's not going to be top up there, but he's going to do something decent. Not a great game, but he's going to have a good game. Ohio State by touchdowns, probably. Okay. Next up, we got SMU Penn State, 11th and 6th seed. Penn State has a 68.8% chance to win. They're projected to win 8.5. So pretty much 9 points is what that kind of pretty much means. Both 11-2. SMU's lost 2 games. I did not know that. Let's look at this real fast. Who they lose to? Oh, BYU. BYU's a good team. They only lost by 3. So pretty impressive there. I didn't know that. I like Penn State's team. Haven't been tested, but I like their team a lot. Their day game, which a lot of people is going to say it's affected them. I don't think it will. In fact, Penn State is what I'm saying because the crowd's better at night. I like SMU's quarterback Jennings. I do. Yeah, that's the only reason I know his name. So, Penn State about going back glazing Penn State. I'm joking. I'm not. But I like their team. One of the better teams they've had. Singleton, Abdul Carter, one of the better quarterbacks they've had. Hour is his name. 21 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Penn State at home. Hard to beat them at home. I got him by probably 10 points. Oh. Okay. is not backing out. Indiana, Notre Dame, both 11-1, 10-7 seed. Notre Dame has a 73.7% chance. We'll keep praying on Indiana's downfall at your basketball team. Gunner, hope your team gets beat by 40 points. Joking. But I do want to show. One thing I do want to see about this game is I want to show. This game is going to really show. I don't want. I'm going to try to see if I can word this right. I'm going to just explain it to Connor, so I don't have to say the good sentence. Notre Dame's an independent team, obviously, in Big Ten. Indiana's a Big Ten team. Big Ten, besides the top three teams, and you can throw in Illinois, Minnesota. That's probably about it. Yeah, maybe Wisconsin sometimes. It's kind of weak. My opinion, the worst FBS team in Purdue, and it's really going to show the strength of schedules, but kind of more of that. Like Big Ten, Notre Dame doesn't. Notre Dame plays what, like 3-4 teams a year. And it's not Army and Navy and USC isn't the teams they play every year. And they try to put a Big Ten school, I'm pretty sure, every year on their this year I don't think they did. Well, USC is technically Big Ten, but besides them, I don't think they did. Indiana hasn't really played anyone besides Ohio State and Michigan, I guess, since Michigan beat Ohio State. One barely beat Michigan in Indiana and got absolutely killed by Ohio State. I don't know where's that though. I think it was at Ohio State. But it's going to kind of show, did their regular season process build them up to this, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't think Indiana's did. I like Notre Dame's team better. The spread they have in 7.5. I got Notre Dame's environment. Hope they wear their green jerseys. I got them by 14. Okay, so now going back up, kind of Texas, Arizona State don't really have spreads. It's going to be a little easier, a little shorter on this, but Texas, Arizona State, don't know much about Arizona State, to be honest. But I like Texas's team. They're going to be ready for this and ready for a top team now. Texas, 3 touchdowns. I have Ohio State and Oregon rematch. Ohio State beats them. I'm joking. I got Oregon. Oregon's teams. I mean, they have one of the better roster teams. I mean, Michigan's roster last year was really good, but this Oregon team, I think, is really good. I do. Have them barely beat Ohio State. The only reason they beat them is because coaching. Coaching is how Oregon wins that game. Penn State, Boise State. Boise State gets their first test. Penn State's defense matches up against Ashton Genty, which we'll talk about Heisman in just a little bit. Matches up really well. Penn State, 2 touchdowns. Notre Dame, Georgia. My opinion, besides Ohio State and Oregon, this is going to be one of the better games because I don't think the Penn State, Boise State, or the Texas and Arizona State is going to be really any good. Be good for a little bit of the second half. Texas and Penn State's going to dominate. But Oregon, Ohio State's going to be close all around. But I still got Oregon by a touchdown, maybe 10 points. Georgia, Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame comes out here and shocks Georgia a lot. I do. Depending Carson Beck's health status from the Texas game, which he should be good by now. He should be. It's a week. They play on New Year's Day. So they should be ready. Night game. Excited. I'm excited to watch this game. Notre Dame's team's going to be close. Possibly an overtime game here. I think Notre Dame really does shock Georgia fans here, but Georgia barely wins. Field goal. This game, if no matter who wins out of Indiana, if Indiana, I think if Indiana plays Georgia, that's a kill shot. But I think if Notre Dame plays Georgia, it's either going to be really close or not close at all. And it's because Notre Dame's independent. It's going to affect both situations. Independent's not going to give them the strength to be able to be a Georgia team, but it's also going to give them the wide variety range of teams to go beat a Georgia team. So next we got Georgia Penn State. Penn State has officially played some decent teams now. They're prepared. January the 9th, 7:30. They're going to go play Georgia in the Orange Bowl. Georgia beats them 14 points. Oregon, Texas. Besides my national championship, I think this is probably the best game of the year. January 10th, 7:30, Cotton Bowl. Oregon and Texas is going to be an offensive battle. It's going to be like 49-42, and Oregon wins by a touchdown. Just because I trust their quarterback. I trust Dylan Gabriel over Quinn Ewers or sometimes Arch Manning. So you got Oregon, Georgia, the 1 and 2 seeds. I guess you could guess that could be a little more fun and have the 1 and 2 seeds not in it. But I really do think Oregon and Georgia. I think Georgia has off games, but I think with the schedule they have, they can have an off game versus Notre Dame and versus Penn State. But now they're in the Natty, they can't have an off game. Oregon, Georgia. Georgia's defense is probably Ohio State's probably my favorite defense, or Michigan. I like Michigan's defense a lot. Oregon's probably my favorite offense, besides Florida. Florida, I like their offense, defense the best, and special teams, coaching and everything. Place. Oregon, Georgia plays close game, without doubt. I think just because of Oregon's road to get here, having them play Tennessee or Ohio State, which I said Ohio State, then having them play Texas, I think it outbeats Georgia's road. And Dylan Gabriel is a much trustworthy quarterback than Carson Beck. And Oregon wins by 10 points because Kirby Smart loses his mind. So Oregon, I keep saying Oregon State. If I did, I meant Oregon this whole time, but you should know by now. Oregon's my natty. We're national champions. I think they have the best team, without a doubt. Let's go to Heisman, and now I'll talk about both games last. Heisman. Oh, well, turn that off. I don't need it for a little bit. Heisman's a very hot topic, I think, this year because I think it's biased. I've talked about it every podcast I've been on, but it's a hot topic. I'm going to make this short and sweet right here. Oh, I wish I had my phone. Oh, but what I saw this on Instagram. Shout out to Nolan Keener for posting it. Hate the balls. Ashton Jeanty was number 1 in every running back stat besides like rush attempts per game, which you don't want to be first in, and he's tied for 4th. Travis Hunter, I think it was mainly offensive stats. He wasn't single like top 5. I think the highest was like 9th or something. And interceptions, he's not even top 36. I know that for a fact. He might be now. I guess I could look. So I saw maybe it's changed by now. Maybe it's just a miss stat thing. As I'm gonna say, Cam Ward deserves it. He's not gonna win it. Your finals is Dylan Gabriel, Cam Ward, Ashton Jeanty, Travis Hunter. Ashton Jeanty and Cam Ward deserve it the most. Cam Ward deserves it the most out of both of them. Travis Hunter's gonna win because he plays both sides and he plays under Deion Sanders. Travis Hunter's gonna be your winner of the Heisman Saturday night, but Jeanty and Cam Ward's going to deserve it. Gabriel is going to be higher than people expect if they show the votes like all from 1st to 4th because of his passing yards. But if I was the committee, here's what I'd do: Cam Ward, Ashton Jeanty, Dylan Gabriel, Travis Hunter. But it's going to be probably Travis Hunter, Jeanty, Ward, Gabriel, which is everyone expecting. But I'm pretty sure Jeanty's the first on a lot of people. So that's my take on it. I've had a lot of inputs, but Hunter's going to win. Jeanty or Ward deserves it the most, which I would put Ward. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the bowl game pick'ems. One sec. The bowl game pick'ems. We're going to do Army-Navy game. We're going to save for last. I'm not going to do Jackson State, South Carolina State. We're going to do the games up till Thursday. So starting out, South Alabama, Western Michigan. Don't know too much about these teams. South Alabama is projected to win by 9. Gio Lopez, I actually used him on the NCAA. He's actually a pretty good quarterback. They don't even have like percentages in this game. They're both 6-6. I know the conference. Are they both in the same conference? No. I know the conference. South Alabama's in a little better, so I'll choose South Alabama. Next up, we'll say that in a little bit. Western Kentucky, James Madison. Western Kentucky just got blown out by Jacksonville State, who's brand new in the FBS. James Madison just lost their coach, but they still have a good team. I want to choose James Madison to win the Baca Radden Bowl. However you say that. We're going to do Memphis and West Virginia now. Memphis is ranked 25th, 10-2. West Virginia 6-6. West Virginia shows how good being a Power 4 team is, but Memphis wins it. A little bit, barely. California versus UNLV. California has a good defense, they have a good corner, but ACC is not super strong outside the top few. UNLV by a little bit. And Georgia Southern, Sam Houston. Very interesting matchup. Georgia Southern's brand new in the FBS. Not brand new, but they're newer. Well, they've been in for 5 years now, something like that. And Sam Houston's first year. I want to choose Georgia Southern just because they might have a worse record, but they've been in FBS longer. The only reason why I'm choosing them. And then we got the game day game, Navy and Army. Navy was once ranked, and Army was both once ranked. Army has a 65.9% chance to win. They're supposed to win by 6. The spread is 6. Army is 22nd ranked 11-1, and Navy's 8-3. Army played better versus Notre Dame, and Army has beat Tulane, who's a good team, and beat some other good teams. Navy, once they lost to Notre Dame, it just kind of fell off the charts. Army wins at 3 o'clock Saturday evening is my projection. I think it's going to be close because it's a big rivalry. They say it's one of the best atmospheres. I'm going to choose them. Army to win by touchdown. Maybe even a field goal. Good game. I think it's going to be a really good game. One of the better games. Last year was a good game, too. Moving on. Oh, we're going to talk about this a little bit. This low key might be like a 40. I don't know how long. It might have been 20, 30 minutes. Okay, so I don't know. This would be a little short. Let me fix something real fast. Oh, whoa. One sec. Did I not find college basketball? There we go. That's what I'm talking about next. Just a little bit. Bill Belichick going to UNC. North Carolina was good. Now they're not. They had some good quarterbacks. Drake May, Sam Howell. But this year they didn't really have a quarterback. They had a good running back this year though. Favorite uniform probably one of my favorite uniforms besides Florida. Probably like Ohio State and Oregon in college football. I think Bill Belichick is one of the best coaches in college or in NFL ever, but Tom Brady is a big effect of that. It's kind of like if you look at Phil Jackson's record, he was a great coach, one of considered the best NBA coach of all time, but he had Jordan or Kobe on his team. I mean, he probably was on other teams, but still. Like, look at Greg Popovich. Now, he can't really perform well, but he did perform well at Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili. But I think he's going to get recruits because everyone's going to want to play under him, so he's going to have good teams. Let's say he's in, because he's getting older, let's say he's in there for 10 years. In about 3-4 years, he'll be a consistently non-win team. And give him about 6 to 7 years, he will be a playoff team. He's going to get recruits this year. He's going to get recruits next year. He's already the number one quarterback in 2026. He wants to go there. Because he can develop good quarterbacks. UNC's going to bump up. But he's not going to be there long. I've actually heard someone didn't tell me, but I saw something that heard this. I saw this on TV that someone was talking to someone else that met him, like physically met Bill Belichick, and said he, out of anyone probably ever in the world's history, he knows college football the most. Like he has the most football IQ ever. So he's going to perform well. He's going to play under him, and that's going to win him national championships. If he does stay for 10 years, I don't think he'll win a national championship, but I do think he'll have North Carolina to a 9-8 win consistent team, right outside the playoffs, right inside the playoff consistent team, a top 10 in the ACC. So very surprised. I kind of shocked me that he went there, but kind of not at the same time. Not that he went to. It shocked me that he's at North Carolina, that he didn't go somewhere bigger, but it doesn't shock me that he's back coaching college football. So that's my take a little bit. I probably could go a little further, but I'm trying to make this a short and sweet podcast because it's by myself. Um, Now we're going to talk about um college basketball for just a short, sweet minute. I was trying to focus on college football a little bit, trying to get my thoughts out in the head. College basketball has been very interesting. Don't know why it's not giving me top 25 rankings. Here we go. Um, the Florida Gators are not. Been interesting. UConn's not up there. They fell. Arizona's fell, and a lot of teams have fell. And then some teams have jumped up, like Clemson, Michigan, Oklahoma. Some surprising teams. And Florida, I guess, is kind of surprising too, but not really. When you look at our teams, they're actually pretty good. SEC has been looked really good, but my favorite teams are. If I had to choose, I'm just gonna make this short and sweet. Like this is like 34 seconds off the way. My favorite teams right now, I like Duke in the future. I like Auburn and Tennessee right now, and I like Alabama later in the future too. But I think if I choose my very far prediction, I haven't even played a playoff game, don't even know the seeding or anything, Auburn and Duke is probably my national championship. But that's not even me looking at stats or anything. That's just off games I've seen, games I know, and standings I'm looking at, rankings, I guess. And then let's look a quick short NFL. I'm not even gonna do college football. I'm not even gonna do pick 'em for them. We're just gonna talk about last week of college or of NFL activities in college. Rankings we did pretty good, or pick 'em we did pretty good last time. Last week we did pretty good. Chiefs got the 1 seed. With that win, I think I really need to talk about college football the most. But you got Buffalo has sealed the AFC. The Jets and Patriots are eliminated. Browns are eliminated. Jacksonville and Tennessee is eliminated. Chiefs have locked the AFC West. Vegas is eliminated. Phillies NFC East locked. Giants out. Detroit NFC North lock. And that's it. A very interesting year. A lot of teams surprised me this year, but a lot of injuries have happened. A lot more trades I feel like happened this year, and it's really switched it up a lot. I think this year in the NFL is going to be very interesting. Very short topic. But I like the Bills, Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, and obviously those are like the top 4 teams. Okay, they were top 14 for a reason. Top 4 teams for a reason. But my favorites, probably the Eagles and the Chiefs. Been saying that for a while. I like Eagles roster, well-rounded roster. Patrick Mahomes doesn't lose. Josh Allen, I don't think, has the receiving core to get very far. Sneeze. Ooh. And then the Lions are good, but I don't think Jared Goff can get them far. Niners aren't really high up there. But yeah, NFL is interesting. MVP race is actually very interesting. Saquon's up there, Allen, Lamar. I don't really know who else is up there. Derrick Henry might be. Very interesting MVP race. Probably talk about that a little bit more by the next 1 or 2 podcasts. Um, but that's kind of all I want to talk about. I just really want to talk about really want to talk about playoffs. But I wanted to talk about and then hint a little bit of Pick'em and Bill Belichick, and just note college football or NFL and oh my gosh, college basketball. Oh, NBA Cup interesting, say the least. So I'm really going to say Hawks are looking good. Interesting is the word to describe that. Don't think NBA Cup matters. Look at the Lakers. Didn't they lose like first round or something? So I don't think Cup matters. You're not going to look in 10 years. Oh, the Lakers have won 3 NBA Cups. I don't think that's going to matter in a franchise. So, remember, I care about the NBA Cup, but not a lot. But just want to note on that. Going down now. New scenery. Just kind of wanted to make one by myself to establish that's my podcast. Next week, December 20th, we're going to have Zach Crutcher, Crush Out Crutch, the dog, and Gabriel Beard. Don't really have a nickname for him. I do, but not gonna. They don't have a no nickname. But we're going to have them two next week. Should be very, very interesting. And then after that, probably going to do one by myself for Christmas week. Probably quick one, probably wear like some Christmas gear or something. A little quick, small podcast. I don't even know how long this one is. I feel like it's been long, but also not at the same time. Um, but and then after that, probably gonna try to get Dalton and E-Step January 3rd. Try to get them on here. That one will be a fun podcast. I'm not saying Zach's engaged won't, but that one's gonna be fun. The next week's gonna be very interesting. Um, Make sure you go to the Instagram, check out the bloopers. Technically, yeah, this is a second take, but the first take, the only reason I made a second take is because I there's a noise coming from my refrigerator, and I didn't know if I could hear it or not, so I stopped. And I kept saying Oregon State. So, but no, I'm not gonna post any bloopers from this one. Bloopers are only gonna be from when I have a special guest. But make sure you go follow them like that. Um, Subscribe, hit the notifications. It's easy. I can't say it with a straight face. Um, but yeah, like it, subscribe. I'm trying to get the 50 subs so I can have a live stream. I think it's gonna be very fun. I already have a live stream print playing with a few people. Whenever I get 50, no matter who's in line, it'll be pushed back because I got a live stream set with some people. Um, but yeah, it's really all I got. Next we got Gabe Beard and Zach Crutcher.